Yeet. Yo, guys, I got a new VR treadmill. So KatVR, it just came out with the Katwalk C2 Plus enhanced. So this is a new VR treadmill, has new VR accessories, and a lot of things to help make your catwalking and your VR treadmilling like way better. Now you're probably thinking that this treadmill looks the same as the base C2 Plus, and you won't be wrong. There are a lot of similarities in the design, and most of it honestly did stay the same. And also the setup experience for the C2 Plus Enhanced is really similar, but only with a few extra steps for some of the newer accessories on the model. And real quick, guys, this voiceover dude VR, you can pre-order this treadmill for $1 with awesome early bird perks on the KatVR website from June 12th to June 18th. So make sure you go do that if you want one. Forgot to add this in the video later. All right, back to the video. First visual difference you notice is that there's now a water station on the treadmill. So you have your own little water bottle that you can access while, you're playing your game, stuff like that. You also have the seat module here, which is pretty much the same as the last one. No real big difference there, but it still works the same. And it also does work with the treadmill itself to be like haptic enhanced and stuff like that when you sit down. And one of the biggest selling points of this new treadmill is under here. So what's cool is they're using K-Quiet technology to make the treadmill more quiet. So it's 37% quieter than the C2 Plus base. And I'm actually gonna show you guys the difference right now. All right, guys, so we're on the original C2 Plus, and this is how it sounds. Very loud, it can be very squeaky sometimes when you just put stuff on there, but this is pretty much how it sounds. So yeah, let me be quiet so you guys can hear it. Yeah, and this is the C2 Plus Enhanced, so way quieter. You don't hear as much impact, and even when I'm like that, it's not as loud as the other one. So definitely gotta wear this one in, because right now, a little hard to slip on because it's so new. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Look at that. All you hear is a slide in my foot. Really good stuff. This is a lot quieter than the old version. So yeah, it got a lot quieter. Like, this model is legit way better in terms of sound than the last one. A lot of people did return their treadmill before because it just was too loud. I definitely understand that, but I mean, it's a treadmill. I expect it to be loud, especially, when you're running basically on metal. But with the foam under here, I think if you're a person who has like hardwood floors, you're gonna really notice that difference when you're stepping around in VR and stuff like that. Now, I did use a treadmill with the base shoes you had before the big upgrade without our new shoes that you get that I'm gonna talk about a little bit later. But when I ran with it with the older shoes, I actually felt that this treadmill is easier to run on. Personally, I don't know what Magic did in terms of the top of this thing, but it legit is easier to slide around on. And with that being said, it brings us to our next big upgrade, which is the actual shoe. So now with the Katwalk shoe, you actually get these better acrylic strips. And so apparently it's gonna make it easier for you to slide around when you're walking and on a treadmill and stuff like that. And there's also a Velcro strip they put at the bottom of the shoe next to the wheel so that you can actually slide a little bit better. So the main thing they want you to be able to do is to walk more natural, walk more free, and get a cleaner experience running around on the treadmill. And we also gotta talk about the new soles included with the shoes, because on the old treadmill, they gave me some soles to put in my shoes, and they saved my feet by a lot. I'm a bigger dude, still around 280. I originally lost 20 pounds of the treadmill. So yeah, these soles are definitely needed because you're gonna need some comfort, guys, especially when you're going to walk around for like an hour, sometimes 2 hours at a time, depending on how long you wanna play. Even if you go around for 30 minutes, you still wanna be as comfortable as possible. And these soles are really soft. We're gonna test them out live today because we're gonna do a live first demonstration with everything on the treadmill enabled and added. And then I'm gonna show you guys the new software too. And another cool thing is that this treadmill actually comes with a watch. So this watch is the KatVR armband, and it basically helps you keep track of your heart rate, your calories while you're working out. And it is a godsend for especially people who want to keep track of the heart rate while they're working out, and whether you might have heart issues or might not want to get to a certain heart rate, and then you can slow down and keep your heart rate more steady. If you're a streamer, it definitely helps with the new UI they added in the software we're gonna talk about later. And definitely keeping track of this is a lot more easy than having something strapped on your chest like I used to before when I was streaming. And a lot of times when I was streaming before, it would cut into my chest a little bit and just be very uncomfortable for long play sessions. So if you're like me and want to keep track of your heart rate and your heart health, then yeah, this armband is a must-have accessory that's gonna come with the treadmill. Another thing is the armband you can get to wipe off your sweat. So if you're sweating and you want to wipe your face off, you can do that with this armband. It helps you, just stay, not as sweaty. And I think that's one of the key selling points of the Katwalk C2 Plus Enhanced. It's just a lot of the accessories and quality of life upgrades versus the previous model. And the dope thing is it's gonna stay around the same price of $1,400, which is actually really nice because it's definitely needed. And something a lot of you guys are gonna find really useful is that this treadmill actually has wheels at the bottom. So if you're like on a hardwood floor, it's gonna be a lot easier to move this treadmill in and out of your play space. Now, if you're on carpet, I'm not gonna lie, the wheels don't really help that much. And so definitely people who have more of a hardwood floor, you're gonna see the real use out of those wheels. Maybe in future versions, they can kind of rethink how it will work on carpet, but definitely if you're on hardwood, it's a godsend. And the last really cool addition to the treadmill is that you can now lock these things in place. So a lot of times when you move the treadmill, you try to kind of rotate or anything like that, these will kind of spin around and hit you in the face and stuff like that. But now they have these little Velcro straps at the bottom right here that I'm pulling on. And you can actually lock that in place so it doesn't move. All right, guys, we are in VR now. I finally got everything on, strapped in, ready to play, ready to go. So we're gonna play Contractors, but first I gotta show you guys the software. So this is the new KatVR software. Basically, this is a full overhaul of the whole system, and it even gives you more account settings, and you can keep track of all your goals and stuff like that, get badges, real good stuff. Like, already have the armband connected, so you already see my heart rate right there, and then we got more features coming down the line, more achievement, more ranks, and definitely give you more of a user experience in terms of using the KatVR treadmill. So, and even keeps track of your recent games too. So a lot more going on in terms of software. Coolest thing they added though, this update, is the VR HUD. So you probably see this thing moving in the background right here. And if I move that, you literally see just a HUD like you're in a video game inside of a video game. So it'll keep track of where you turn in the bottom left right there. You see that little dial at the bottom left? Keep track of where you turn so you can stay centered. And also on the bottom right, it'll keep track of everything that you have that's like charging and stuff like that. And basically even keep track of the armband. You got the heart rate in the top left, and then you got your calories and stuff, on the top right, and how many steps you take and how long you've been on the treadmill and how many calories you burn. So a lot more stuff in terms of just overall UI, and you can even move this stuff around. So if it's annoying you or you don't like having this way, you can move it over there. You can make the text smaller, make the text bigger. Personally, I like my text a little bit bigger because I like to be able to see where my heart rate is. And then the device direction can always be reset when you do a recenter. And then it'll keep track of your max heart rate too. So real good stuff. And this is what I've always wanted from KatVR in terms of just pure UI. So this is all in headset. If you're like a streamer or something like that, you can choose not to have this on. You got to turn it off right here. And then just if you don't want the chat to see this, just make sure you turn it to just stream the game instead of streaming like Steam VR or something like that. But whole lot of fixes here. Even in the device config, we got some updates here in the UI. Just looks a lot better than it did before. And some of it does look the same. But a lot of this stuff is very overhauled. And even the connection of the armband. The armband has its own menu and stuff like that, which is really good. But connecting everything has never really been easier. And the UI to me is a lot more streamlined, a lot more sensible. So I definitely respect them for getting that figured out. And also you got some community options, like if you need support or something like that. There's even some KatVR games you can play. Never really played those. I have my own games, but you can do that if you want to. And then you got the walker rating. So number one is still Toxin. Toxin is still the GOAT with the C2 Plus and even such a device. So I can't wait to see like how everybody kind of ranks up over time. But even if I take everything off, yep, everything is still there. Got my heart rate at 99. It's tracking perfectly. And we're about to get into the game. All right, guys, we are in the headset. So we're playing a little bit of Contractors with the Play for Dream mixed reality headset. If you're wondering what it is. And also just about a review for this headset. But today we focus on the treadmill. So we're going to get into some games, do a little shooting, see how the shoes feel. Because right now I can tell you the shoes feel like really good. I actually do like the acrylics on the bottom. And honestly, it does feel like a smoother walk compared to the older shoes. So let's go ahead and get into a game. It's about as yabber yabbering and get to playing. All All right, guys, we are in Star Wars Battlefront Clone Wars, my favorite mod pack in Contractors. But overall, I must say, guys, that the experience with a VR treadmill is really kind of niche. It's not something for everybody, but I do think that it's getting better over time. Because everybody wants like Ready Player One, but I feel like we got to kind of build up to that. So I think KatVR is taking a really good step and giving you more bang for your buck in terms of what you get. I mean, if you bought this treadmill a few months ago like I did versus now, you literally get way more in terms of just accessories and service and stuff like that versus back then. So yeah, this is real smooth. This is real smooth. Let's see. Yeah. But I've been using a VR treadmill for about a few months now, probably about, it's been like 6 months, 7 months now. And I love it. I lost 20 pounds, gained some of it back because I just haven't been consistent because I've been sick and stuff like that. And just life and a kid. But pretty much playing these games on a VR treadmill is really life-changing. Like, and two, the community is really fun. Like, I've met a lot of dope creators because of this VR treadmill. I mean, and this has been a real good year for your boy in terms of content. I mean, just this year alone, in 6 months, we up like 23 million views, which is like really crazy. So, if you're a content creator looking to spice up your content, man, a VR treadmill is definitely the way to do it, man. Definitely helps a lot, especially on places like TikTok. Overall, though, I'm already getting tired. Overall, though, yeah, this is definitely a great experience. I love the fact that they grow as a company. There's a lot of stagnation in terms of VR locomotion, I feel. And I'm turned around talking to y'all, but that's fine. But I can tell because of the recent thing. But I feel like I kind of want to push the envelope, man, in terms of locomotion. I feel like we're getting closer to it legitimately feel like you can walk in VR. It's Anakin. But if you don't know what this game is, this Contractors, man, it's basically like VR Call of Duty. But like you have all the mods in the world. You got Battlefront, Team Fortress, and like a bunch of other things that kind of keep you busy. It's on Steam and Quest. Literally one of the best games, if not one of my favorite VR games of all time. Go around and get some kills. Speed up a little bit. Heart rate at 116. Oh, that was easy. Victory, yeah. But yeah, you can tell it's keeping track of my calories. 222 kcal. I don't know what kcal is, if it's regular calories, but 261 meters so far, 374 steps, 4 minutes on the treadmill, man. And you see it going up every time I step, so it is very accurate. Even when I do like 1 step, 2 step, yeah, see, very accurate. So real dope. I feel like it's gonna be a game changer for just keeping track of your workout. And then also, guys, another thing that people ask me, like, 1,400 is real expensive, right? And honestly, yeah, it is expensive. And like I said, this is a VR enthusiast or someone who really wants to lose weight purchase, guys. So this is not a casual. I would not recommend this to a casual person who's not going to use it like that. It just be a waste of money. But for me, it was a great investment because I made a lot of money using my treadmill. And then two, I also lost a lot of weight using my treadmill. So I'm very happy with my purchase. But overall, I really do feel like, man, this map is gorgeous. Wow. I don't remember this map. But yeah, this map is gorgeous. Wow, look at this map. Oh crap. But yeah, this game is amazing, man. And I feel like VR treadmills are just gonna be such a cool thing in a few years. But personally, I feel like my 1,400 I spent on my Katwalk Quest, my original was worth it. I feel like it's even more worth it now with all these accessories added, and it's the support you're getting in terms of VR. But yeah, but definitely worth it for enthusiasts. This is a way to get a little play in. Another question I get about VR treadmills also is the weight limit. So right now I'm about 280. When I first started my journey on my old treadmill, I was like 290. Way past the weight limit of like 286. But honestly, guys, I've seen people who have been like 300 pounds, 300 plus pounds using this thing with just little no issue. Only thing I'll recommend, if you're gonna be a person who's more over the weight limit, one, be really careful about maintenance. Make sure you're checking your screws after every session. Make sure you're checking just the overall health of the treadmill, so that way you don't break it while using it, because I've done that before. But yeah, pretty much it, y'all. I don't really have much thing to say. If you got any questions, man, hit the comments below. I think I'm playing some Battlefront 2. And then you guys can, you know, stay tuned. I got way more stuff coming, way more reviews coming. This is MartydudeVR. And remember, I'm just a dude with a laser rifle. Link below.